What is going on? Yeah, I wonder about that too, since things has been stranger than just mutant problem. What the frick is happening? Yeah. So, hello Terry here, and we are back with Hard Fragment, and yep, our character just wake up after some sort of weird day where we just skip the day. So yeah, that's all I could say. Here comes the storm, I guess. Let's continue playing the game, shall we? What is going on? Hello? My head. Yeah, what's up with your head? Uh-huh. It hurts. Well, the normal then. Clive excited attacks is the first thing you see that morning. Nice. So, you're ready? Uh-huh, hide and seek. You're sure eager to play hide and seek. It's not playing, think of it as the ultimate combination of strategy. Alright, Clive, I agree with you. Ding! Not only are you hiding, you gotta give the other person direction that are rather vague enough. Alright, so I can just hide, pretend to hide, and then go home, abandon you there. Okay. You wanna make it so they can find you, but also so that they won't find you too easy. So if you say you're behind a tree, that's too vague, but if you say you're next to a specific sign, then it's too easy. Got it? It's not just childish fun and games. Alright. Huh, you really are competitive. Anyway, I'll come and meet you at Lana's in a few minutes, okay? Okay. He really is excited about this. His enthusiasm is enough to make you wonder if this game actually is more exciting than regular hide and seek. No matter how much he claims it, it isn't the same. You can help but wonder what's so special about it. But if he... Again? No? Okay, it is. Actually, change of plans, I can hang out today. Okay, that's fast. Sorry, we will make plans some other time. Come on, man, how hard it is to play hide and seek. Like, we can just play in Lon's place and we can do the here's Johnny stuff, you know, by you breaking the door and I'm hiding behind this room. Is something wrong? No, I'm okay, I just have a few things to do today so that I forget about. How could you forget about that but remember hide and seek? Okay, rescheduling for tomorrow. Maybe, we will see. See you whenever. Okay. Oh. I wonder what's up. I get the idea he was feeling more dejected than usual. Indeed. Morning. There she is, bright and early today. Wait, did I set the music too low? Oh, I did. That explains. Yeah, sorry about that, I was trying to configure the music still because I'm a bit confused by the configuration. There she is, bright and early today. Up bright and early. Got plans for that Clive again today? Nope, Clive is busy. I did, but he suddenly cancelled. What? No, that's surprising. I figure he's been having a blast. Must be super busy to cancel on you. Indeed, and now what should we do? You really think he wanted to hang out that badly? It's not that shocking to think he would. What actually a bit shocking is, you look pretty disappointed about it too. React by being flustered, ask what Lana means. Yeah, sure, why not? No, that's not it, You just turned red as a lobster when you're embarrassed. If I'm embarrassed, it's because you're teasing me. Not anything to do with Clive. I don't remember saying it was because of Clive in the first place. Shut up. Oh yeah, you two went to that coffee shop again yesterday, right? Has Clive said anything else about that dream of owning a coffee shop to you? I'm curious about that. Well, he did make coffee. Not specifically, but I saw him practicing the art of the latte. Ah, I really should start turning off my phone alerts while we are eating. Sorry about the noise. It's okay, you can answer it. Oh. Hey, change of plans again, still free. What? I am. Finish your business earlier than planned. But I can come pick you up at Lana so you can find your way alone. Can you? So can you find your way alone? I've only been there once and it was on a road I never knew existed until now. If you're not able to, then I understand, no pressure. I wouldn't want you to get lost so you can stay home if you need to. Nah, what is life in a new neighborhood without getting lost? Let's go. Mixed signal much, do you want me to come or not? Your choice, if you can make it here on your own then come. If not, then whatever. What the hell is up with him? Is everything okay? Apparently Clive's want to hang out again, he keeps changing his mind today. Weird. Not Clive weird, but weirder weird. No need to frown like that, he's probably just been busy and didn't think he ended up getting the time until now. I guess, but he wants to meet up at this place he showed me, even though I've only been there once and barely know how to get back. Lana seems to know the place, right? If you tell me where it is, maybe I can give you directions. It was just outside of Pirathon, some sort of garden or field filled with flowers. Ah, what is it? What? Oh no, nothing, I haven't been there in years. It's just out of town and yet I never go there anymore. Oh. Lana's cheery demeanor from earlier begins to fade into a grimace. Are you alright? Yeah, I just have a lot of old memories there. Hey. Uh-huh. If that expression is really just about old memories, they must not be very happy ones. If I remember correctly, once you get to the gas station, you should be able to follow a straight line there. I don't think it will be too hard to find. Thanks. Uh-huh. Hey, kiddo. Did you put any more thought into what I said? About going back to the city and staying with your dad for therapy appointments? I haven't really made up my mind yet. Uh-huh. I ran the idea by Gray, he seemed to think it was a good idea as well. Can I have a bit more time to decide? I want to get away from this place where Jasper is, but... Oh, Sunny, my sweet angel. We don't have any more time, aren't we? Something tells me I need to stay until I'm able to figure things out. A bit more time, but if you can let me know soon, that'd be for the best. I'll think on it some more then. Indeed. Despite Clive flaking us, he did promise to go today. So here we go, to the gas station. This must be a different road than Clive took me. I swear it was a longer walk at that time. Yeah, perhaps that was intentional so Clive can be with you longer. Or maybe time just passes more slowly when I'm trying to think of new conversation topics all on my own for the entire trip. Indeed. Ah. Taking Lana's road feels faster, though it only takes you about half the time that your previous journey did. I don't like where this is going. When you arrive, he's already there waiting for you. He stands in the flower field facing the opposite direction. Quiet, still observant. Hey. Sunny, you're here? You seem awfully surprised considering you're the one that invited me. Why is it still quiet? But I thought... Never mind, you're not, you... His word seems to get stuck in his throat. What's wrong? You're starting even more than usual. Oh. This is... Clive's level of anxiety is so high that you can practically taste in the air around you. He squirms about for a few seconds longer while seeming to be deliberating something in his head. You gotta leave, okay? Huh? Just go home, I can hang out today. But you... I don't want to play with you right now, Sunny, it's best if we start running. Play. I know he wanted to have a game of hide and seek, but when he words it like that, Oh my god, is this game of hide and seek will turn into something terrible for Sunny? Like, instead of a game of fun, it's a game of trying to survive, hiding from someone. Fine, I'll go then. And yet, as you begin to turn around, you're stopped in your tracks by Clive forcefully grabbing both of your arms. What the? Stop. You intend to question what the hell he's doing, but you can bring yourself to finish that question when you see the expression of fear in his eyes. Clive, what is going on? His gripe tightens. Indecision seems to surround him as though he's making up his mind about some world-shattering problem. Let go, you're hurting me. Sunny, go the other way. But you try once again to turn to face Clive head on, but are swiftly stopped by his determined voice. No, the direction you're facing right now. Run. Clive's bright eyes that normally try so hard to avoid meeting yours pierce into you with a sharp gaze. His whole face is contorted, overtaken by desperation. You're not making any sense. What the hell is going on? Sunny, there's nothing that making sense around these few weeks or days, so you better run now. Just run and don't look back. Please, trust me. Quick save, quick load, quick save, quick load. Save. What if I refuse? No, I'm not going until you tell me what is happening. Come on, don't be an idiot, just run already. His voice is growing more and more desperate. No. The fear and panic of this moment is interrupted by a sound that doesn't seem to fit the mood. The sound of someone clapping. Well, that's a fire music. Good work, little one. I knew I could count on you. You can process it at first. By the time your brain is able to put a name to the voice though, you can already feel an aching terror. Hello, Jasper. Jaspy boy. You don't have your tits out this time? Good day, doll. Good day, Jasper. Regret that you didn't leave Pirathon while you still had the chance is immediate. What the hell is this? Clive certainly is a sweet boy. Wouldn't you agree? Please don't say anything else. Oh, I do see now. You wanted her to die thinking you're some sort of hero, right? That's... You aren't a complete fool, let me guess. You figured that even if she died here, if you had a chance to paint yourself as the good guy up until the last minute, you'd at least be able to send her off with a good impression of you. Oh. Is that how it is, Clive? Either I choose run or not, it will end the same. How cute. I apologize for shattering your image like that. Clive. The boy too useless to piece together what our names meant. Or do you think you like it better if I called you K? K? What are you talking about? K is... Yeah, right. That one wouldn't have let her get in this position in the first place. I'm not sure if I should be amused or disgusted by the fact you can be the hero of this story unless you die. Though I suppose some people are into the martyr type. If you're lucky, perhaps Sunny will be one of them. Words won't come out no matter how much you try. You are frozen, not just by some power that Jasper seemed to possess, but by fear. The reason Clive wanted you to run is clear as day. He knew Jasper would be here. Nothing you say is making sense. I don't want this. Is that what you want to say? Of course it is. Oh, Clive, you poor little fool. Don't worry. I'm sure Sunny will find it in her heart to forgive you in her next life. The truly interesting moment here, though, is Sunny's reaction to me calling you Kay, or should I say, lack of reaction. How adorable, doll. Easy to read and yet so complicated to understand. You know who this boy was all along? Please don't hurt her. I really don't care what happens to me, just let her... Why did he stop talking so suddenly? Clive's tone shifts when he opens his mouth again. I don't understand how you can say those things. Did things really change that much? Change? This wasn't how it was before. When did this start happening? What is Clive going on about? Even Jasper looked confused now. Didn't father say quiet? Oh. The piercing shriek that emits from Jasper's mouth causes you to flinch. In your confusion, you look down at Clive. He's staring at me with determination again. Is he saying something he knows will strike a nerve so that I have another chance to get away from here? Yeah, let's go. I don't want to leave him alone again, but he's asking me to trust him. A thing like you will never understand what father asked for. The initial shock in Jasper's voice has already faded away. If you are going to use this opportunity, you need to take it now before Jasper's anger has faded entirely. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, Clive. I don't want to leave you behind, but I'll trust you. You keep running despite the instinct to turn back. Every alarm bell in your mind says to turn around and look, but you ignore them. You run. Run. Shit, I keep leaving Clive every time this happens. He wanted me to believe in him, though. So that idiot better stay alive so that I can get a proper explanation next time we speak. Oh no. Okay, what is it? Your run is halted when you crash into something at full force. Gah! What? Your eyes, which had been practically glued shut as you run in an attempt to avoid seeing something horrible fly open. What the frick is this place? Oh! You're... Terrell? Okay, what are you doing here? I expect you the list to appear. Anyway, let me quick save here because I want to see what's the other running option do. Run? I do trust you. You have no idea what is going on right now, but you sense the urgency in Clive's request. How can you ignore it when this awkward fidgety man suddenly becomes so serious and determined? Go? Clive states off the way and you immediately begin running at full speed. Alright. Why didn't he want me to look back? Is he going to be alright on his own? Keep on running? Turn to look. Let's keep on running. What's going on? I hope today might just be a normal day hanging out with Clive. I thought... Oh, it's the same then. And there's an option to turn to look. Achievement unlocked, friends with enemy. Oh, that unlocks an achievement. Clive collapsed on the ground, and above him, that's... Why are you so goddamn weak, Jasper? I should have known you'd be too pathetic for this. She's just a girl, she's not dangerous. She's a mutant, I think you understand your role. I thought I did too, but I can do this. And yet you brought her here? You brought her here of all places. Did you think this will be safe? You watch while frozen in fear. Is it fear that freezes you? Is it Jasper? He seems too angry to have noticed you, so it must be fear, right? And then Jasper's gaze shifts. His eye locks with yours. I see, you're not the only fool here, Clive. In what feels like a mere instant, the scene shifts. Clive has flipped over to face you, apparently unharmed, more likely collapsed in terror than pain, and a smirk begins to spread across Jasper's face. Perhaps not as pathetic as I thought. Huh? He doesn't seem to have frozen me in place this time. As common sense begins to return, so does your ability to move. But in that case, if you're not already frozen by Jasper now that he's noticed you, why hasn't he? That doesn't matter, I need to get out of here. No, wait. I can't leave Clive like this again. You turn around so sharply that you nearly lose your balance from the swift movement. What the hell are you doing, you idiot? Get out of here already. The panic in his voice could almost be interpreted as anger. Enough out of you. The previously uninjured Clive is silenced by Jasper's foot slamming against his shoulder. The same shoulder Clive injured protecting you before. Even if the wound was practically healed by now, you wince at the very thought of how much pain that would have caused. Gah! He grips his shoulder, but Jasper, seemingly unamused by the reaction, turns his attention directly to you. I'm not stopping you from running, yet you stay for this thing's sake. Clive isn't a thing, I don't know everything about the situation between you two, but You don't know, but surely you must have guessed what was about to happen before Little Red down there decided to take the coward's way out. That's what really was about to happen before Clive told you to run. The reason Clive invited you here, the reason he befriended you, the unending nosy question that led to this moment. The kindness he showed? The answer has been obvious all along, hasn't it, Sonny? It was your hope that Kay existed within him that prevented you from cutting him off entirely, wasn't it? Clive was working with Jasper, was on your side. That is right, no matter how genuine Kay seemed in his desire to help you, and he turned back into Clive, he has sided with Jasper. All of the pieces line up to this obvious conclusion. You know that, and yet... Even though I know, I still can't leave Clive. Sonny, Jasper cuts him off with a condescending clap of his hands. Very good. Look at you using your brain. His voice drips with sarcasm. Sonny, Clive's desperate pain expression makes your heart pound in spite of your current predicament. If your life wasn't currently in danger, you are certain he'd be taking a mile a minute as he tries to explain his side of things. But why isn't Jasper attacking or stopping me? I can read that expression clear as day, doll. You are terrified and confused, and... He paused to give a disgusted glance at Clive. And worried about it. Clive certainly is a sweet boy, wouldn't you agree? Please don't say anything else. Oh, I do see now. Okay, so at this point we arrive at the same dialogue. So I've actually tried the running option, that's why you see it purple, and then I've also tried to keep on running instead of turning to look, which I just did, and it will result in us bumping to Terrorose faster, that's all. I'm going to my main road right now, okay? Yeah, it was me. What's up? He looks vaguely familiar. Who? Right, you're that man I met in the park. Oh shucks, how nice of you to remember me. Ta-ta. He smiles, but there's no friendliness or joy within it. What are you doing here? At this exact moment, before downright confused. You ran in from that direction, so you must be the one I was told to wait for. Ah, you're working with him then. You're barely able to catch your breath to find an answer. Something tells me that if I try to run right now, it won't end up well for me. And as the tunnel vision of running desperately begins to fade away and you're able to take in your surroundings, purple flowers. Yeah, the flower is purple here. Ignoring Terrell's inquisitive look, you find yourself mystified. A tiny shack surrounded by flowers. You've been here, didn't you? Uh-huh. These are the same kind of flowers at the special place Clive showed me. I'm pretty sure. Sweetie, really? Taking in the scenery at a time like this? Can you not read the mood whatsoever? You look just as shocked as him. You're with Jasper then, aren't you? So do Natalia then. Natalia Cat. Correct? Well done. The next thing you know... Oh, ow. A pair of arms are suddenly wrapped around you, holding you still. Hello, Natalia. Was that you? What? Two people are here. Does Jasper have a whole group working with him or something? This is unfair. When you try to turn around, your head is held in place by force, preventing you from seeing the second person. Whoever has you in their grip right now is too strong to simply squirm away from. Uh-huh. Now you see, I hesitated because I was told you are not the one. I'm sure if I just ended a random bystander, I'd be in trouble, right? Uh-huh. Hey, why aren't you struggling more? I'm not sure, dude. It's not like I can do anything else at this point. Unless, of course, I can shoot a laser beam, but apparently I can. Oh, by the way, how to... Aha, interesting. You're a mutant, aren't you? You're just going to roll over and play dead, huh? He knows about mutants. I should have guessed that if he's with Jasper, but that this solidifies it. Why? Why would you work with a literal murderer? I don't get it. What do you gain from this? It isn't just terror that turns up. Whoever grabbed you stiffens enough that even without seeing them, you can sense their tension. You're seriously asking me that? Yeah? Yeah, bro. Ah. Achievement unlocked, filthy mutant? Oh, okay. Mutant disgust me. You disgust me. Uh-huh. Why though? Why do you hate me so much? I never did anything to you. But you did do something to Jasper. No, I didn't. I haven't done anything to him. He's got a grudge against me over some weird squabble between our families. I hadn't even met him until recently. Oh, I know all about it. But here's the thing. As cold as his tone has been till now, there's genuine admiration in his next words. Jasper is a good man. He's been kind to me ever since we were children. Oh, yeah. Since you're children? That's weird. Or perhaps it's not, I don't know. Because Jasper splits at the same time you were 8 years old, Sonny. So that time it's still Clive, not Jasper. How can you call someone that wants to murder another being just because of some stupid grudge a good person? I don't know, because at this point you literally took each other as evil, but it turns out you both aren't evil and it's just a huge big freaking misunderstanding resulting in some people dying. But I don't know. Like there's perhaps some other player behind this whole thing. You know nothing about Jasper. Well, I didn't know you eat the chess pawn when you were playing with Jasper. Enough of this. Show me your mutant powers. Fight me. Okay, dude. Sure. Here I go. Bye-bye. I can't. Do it. I literally don't have any power to fight. I can just do a mind reading stuff like this. And a little bit of regeneration. I don't know what else I can do. I don't know how. Quiet playing dumb. Not quiet, quit. I'm not playing dumb. And I'm not a fool. A soft noise begins to drown everything out, a ringing in your ear, a soft hum. Enough already, I've had enough of this. Oh. Hello. What happened next went by so fast that you can hardly take it all in. The grip holding you is somehow loosened. Somehow. The angry blonde man before you is thrown back with so much force. That's not somehow. But he practically knocked out just by the impact. Your vision blurs with red. Oh, blood. What? What happened? Okay. Is that you, Inigo? See, I guess it. Well, that was an even greater performance than I expected. You were right all along, Sonny. You're not weak or pathetic at all, are you? Wait, I don't even know what happened back there. This is the first time I've gotten to see your true potential. It is even more terrifying than I imagined. Indeed. You weren't able to achieve the happy ending you were looking for. But how about I offer you a consolation prize? Consolation prize? I can teach you the truth, fill in the gaps, perhaps even help you inch your way closer to success. His hand stretches towards you. Why should I accept you? Listen, Inigo. For me, you're just a little shit, so I don't need to accept you, but because of the game told me to, then sure, why not? We'll play along a little bit. A cold sensation brushed across your hand, reminiscence of being touched by a ghost. I look forward to working with you, Sonny. But what about the truth you said you could fill me in on? Don't be greedy, I'm not able to fill you in here after all. But now that we have grown a little bit closer, I can teach you the ropes in another fragment. What does that mean? Another fragment? I think this one was called fantasy. The next one should be a bit more grounded in reality, belief, or something along those lines. So wait for me. I have so much I want to tell you when the time comes. Indeed. Achievement unlocked, deal with the devil. What the frick did we do? Interesting. Apparently we have made a deal with the devil. Inigo, isn't it? Yeah. So it is an ending, but an ending that gives a slight change to the game. I don't know what. But we'll see later on. Either way, yeah. For now, we have to configure a way to survive this thing we are facing. I don't know if this could work in this part. If not, then I'm going to restart Act 2. Which will be quick since we have done a lot, aren't we? Ah. That is new. Finally something. So we need to run and then look back to get to this part. Interesting. The other choice is just making us stuck on the same loop of meeting with Inigo. But here we are advancing finally. Your scream seems to echo on for an eternity as if our universe is nothing but a dark empty chamber where one's suffering is played back to them on loop. What breaks you from that silence is... Sunny, stop. Kay? Interesting. Kay? You can see him, but that voice, so distinct from the voice of Clive and Jasper, was undoubtedly his. You don't want to hurt anyone. That's not who you are. Hurt? I wasn't going to... yeah, you kinda did. No, that isn't what important. How am I hearing your voice? Where are you? What I like most about you... Oh, interesting. That gentle side that you try to hide. Am I just imagining his voice? God, I'm going insane. But the softness in Kay's voice relaxes you in spite of it all. That cry of anger you thrown at Terrorose seems like it happened in another world. You close your eyes and let the warmth engulf you in both body and mind. Even if Jasper killed me, I'd be fine if I could just stay like this. Interesting. The presence you felt begins to fade. In its place is pitch black cold. The sensation of falling. The image of Clive floats forth into your vision, and along with it a call from the dark. Warmth is coming from over there. The instinct to move towards the warmth is overridden by the memory that took place just moments ago. What the hell? Clive was with Jasper. It is clear enough by now that Clive has likely been working alongside Jasper from some point after he stopped being Kay. But Clive didn't seem happy about his choices, and even more than that, Clive hasn't felt like some sort of evil presence up until now. There was desperation in his attempt to get you to run away. What was the point of all the time he spent with you if he just planned to betray you eventually? But even if I deny it, Jasper spoke as if they had some kind of plan to ambush me back there. Clive just took the coward's way out and Jasper put it at the last minute. Clive and Jasper, two men formed from the same person, and Kay, a trustworthy, happy presence in your life. Was Kay also in contact with Jasper the whole time? Did Clive and Kay both just want me to trust them so they could betray me? Is this also some sort of ploy? Could be, who knows? I don't understand. Oh, by the way, I just realized why Jasper didn't use his power when he meets Sunny in the garden back there. It's because this is still the game. Sunny challenges him to catch her without the power, and yeah, he played with that rule. Perhaps, I don't really know. It's just my interpretation of why the power didn't happen. The freezing power. The small bit of warmth from Clive's image before you has faded and left your surroundings dark and cold. As you hug your body to keep from shivering, an emotion that's been rooted within you all this time finally shows its way to the surface, forcing you to focus on it alone. Fear. A natural human emotion and yet simultaneously something unnatural. Fear can keep a person alive in healthy amounts. It can help you to avoid situations that would cause you harm, and yet, if you begin to fear the very act of waking up in the morning to go through another day, that's when it becomes dangerous. You have always lived your life in a way that could be described as going through the motions. Wake up, argue with your father, go to school, listen to Shannon's latest news. Maybe sometimes you feel a bit afraid when alone in your room at night and a sound from outside your window will jolt you to attention, but you didn't think of yourself as an anxious or easily frightened person. Some people might think you build walls around yourself to avoid situations that could cause fear. But you never thought of it that way either. Was the anxiety you feel now really that sudden though? Or did you spend so long running away from anything that could cause you discomfort that the moment things went wrong, you were no longer equipped to handle them as a result? Avoidance, after some time, is troublesome to the psyche. If you never feel fear, then the moment you are forced to feel it, it will be worse than ever. That's not to say your fear isn't justified, it is, but you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know whether running away or facing it head-on is the answer anymore. Neither option seems to bring your struggle to an end. And then there is Clive, a man who you had begun to enjoy your time with, a man who apparently has some sort of connection to Kay, a man who you have known for quite some time has a connection to Jasper. Even if he had his reason for doing so in the first place, he still didn't oppose Jasper. Even if he appears to have hesitated and nearly changed his mind, he still invited you to an ambush. Is that really what life is all about? Is it just natural for someone to doubt their friends? I want to find out the truth from Clive. I'll keep fighting. Yeah, why not? No, you still don't know the full story. There's more to this to figure out. Even if Clive betrayed your trust... Not Clay, Clive. Even if Clive betrayed your trust in that way, he seemed to be going through something internally about it all. Until you found out what it is, you can give up. But still, the sudden darkness that surrounds you. How did you end up here? You don't remember falling asleep. And yet, you are suddenly alone. Not really, there's Sharon here. Hi, Sharon. Ah, interesting. I'm sorry. A voice calls to you, the familiar voice of your mother. No, not your mother. Your mother is long gone, you need to accept that. No matter how hard it is, no matter how painful, she won't be coming back. Sunny, I'm so sorry. This is that woman named Shay Gain, isn't it? What does she want with you now? Haven't you been through enough already? Hasn't she put you through enough? Clive wouldn't have been in this position if it weren't for her. She didn't have to do any of this in the first place. Splitting someone into two people. What sort of crazy woman comes up with that and thinks it could possibly be a viable solution? Moments ago you were on your way home. Moments ago you weren't this angry. But the moment you heard the voice, anger became overwhelming. You know, what if it's not just Clive that got split? Perhaps there's other people who got split also, who knows? You should be happy when you hear your mother's voice, but thanks to this freak, you're angry at the sound. Angry. Sunny, please listen to me. Hello, Shay. She finally fades into view. Dearest Sunny, can you hear me? So it is you. What do you want now? I'm sick of things going on like this. I assure you, my dear, I understand that frustration you are feeling, but I promise you that I will not intrude upon your life unless it is entirely necessary. I am too tired to yell anymore. It seemed things were far more fractured than I had initially believed. You don't say. I have thought long and hard about the cause of this. What precise event it was that created a rift in Clive's mind. Isn't it obvious? Aha. You split that guy up into multiple people, that's what caused the damn rift. I don't even know where you got involved. Who the hell are you? You admitted you wanted to introduce yourself to me as a goddess. I'm not an idiot. I know the type of person you are. You're the sort of person that thinks she is better than anyone else, and that because of that, you have got right to meddle in everyone else's affair. Aren't I right? You are angry. Of course I'm angry. Why would you possibly think splitting someone into multiple people is the right way to solve their problems? That, at the time, I truly believed it was the safest way. Instead of fracturing the boy's mind itself and creating one empty shell, the act of splitting him into two bodies will make only one of them disposable. So I admit, I did not think that the disposable one would be Clive. And if indeed, worst case scenario, Clive were to become the disposable shell, I believe I could reawaken the things that made his personality him. But you couldn't, obviously. No, I could not, because what left Clive were not simply memories that created who he was. They were memories that formed the basis of his emotions, his inner psyche. What do you mean, the basis of his emotions? Clive experienced emotions in a way that is not often considered typical. Some things he feels far too strongly and some he feels far too weakly. The basis of that structure is still there in working order. His fragmented self, though, is at times unable to sort out which emotion should be felt at what moments and to what degree. This is why I had considered Kay to be a successful specimen, everything that he felt, everything that he desired. It was nearly the perfect image of a good person. But Kay isn't here anymore. I still can wrap my hand around that. Why Kay become Clive again? It feels like you're saying he's practically dead now. I cannot answer why Kay reverted to his previous form. However, as he is, Clive does not remember any parts of your experience together as Kay, but perhaps his heart may still hold the dearest of his experience inside. Instead of collecting fragments of their split self to reform Clive as Kay, perhaps instead you can unlock the emotions related to those experiences. Are you saying that if I do that, Clive will remember being Kay? That I can still get Kay back that way instead? His heart may be able to align with Kay's. However, without the fragments, I will not be able to remake him as Kay once again. The man you knew as Kay is gone, and he cannot return. Really? Hello? Hello? Who is there? Is getting through? Kay? Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Where are we? The dark forest of the Little Red Riding Hood, isn't it? Huh? What the hell happened? Did I pass out or something? You groggily sit up from the damn grass and take in your forest surroundings. This isn't the same spot where I was attacked by Jasper and Hariel. How did I get here? Interesting. Despite your confusion, the memory of everything that happened is still fresh in your mind, including the conversation with Shay. She said the man I know as Kay can return, but... Without noticing, your face have clenched. It is in times like this that you realize just how much you had to come to rely on Kay to be there for you, and to listen to your worries when no one else would have been able to. If Clive will always be Clive and those memories we had can be unlocked, then You felt nothing but confusion about the emotion inside of you. After everything that happened, I know Clive isn't the safest person to be around. I'd probably be better off avoiding him entirely, right? But you wonder if some part of you has begun to feel attached to Clive in the same manner that you had attached yourself to Kay. Why? Just because Clive was there for you? Your chest tightens at the thought. When did you end up enjoying your time with Clive this much? Now isn't the time to be sitting here thinking about this stuff. I need to get back home. With your mind more clear from the initial confusion you woke up with, you pick yourself up off the ground. Which way is it, though? The clearing you have found yourself in is unfamiliar. The best you can do is pick a direction and hope for the best. Indeed. After shuffling forward a few paces, your foot hits against something and you pause. Interesting. A walkie-talkie? Oh! Looks like the same one Clive gave me before. Did I drop it while I was running from Terrorose or something? Your head pounds. You can't even remember getting away from Terrorose, let alone what you may or might not have been carrying in your hands. Despite what may be the safest course of action, that is, to ignore it and cut ties with everyone related to Jasper, you still pick up the walkie-talkie. Interesting. The words of Shay remains clear in your mind, even though the rest of the events are a blur. Your minds wander as you walk. Kay gone. If that's true, I guess I really am going crazy. That side of Kay seems so real. You try to shake that fear of insanity from your brain, at least for the time being. Instead of dwelling on that, you glance towards the walkie-talkie still clutched in your hands. Clive was a friend that was practically forced upon you. On the other hand, while Kay's presence was also forced in the beginning, you have soon found yourself feeling excited about his visits. It always seems to go back to that. To comparing whatever friendship you have with Clive to the friendship you had with Kay. And that's when the troubling thought occurs to you. Did I ever look at Clive as his own person? Good question. Before I knew he was connected to Kay, I was always considering him a nuisance that I didn't want to get in the way of my life. And when I found out, I was probably I was thinking of him as a vessel that would bring back Kay eventually. That's what Clive was. A necessary evil in your life. A suspicious guy who talked too much and kept justifying his coincidence in ways that should have only made you avoid him. But you didn't avoid him because... I really miss Kay, don't I? I'm pathetic. Oh, no you're not. Oh, okay, we are here. I think we're on a dream forest. After some time of wandering, or perhaps some sort of instinct guiding you back to the safety of the Pirathon Nature Trail, you managed to make it back on the path. Interesting. It is still a mystery how you ended up in that clearing. The last thing you recall were what? Yelling at Terrell and the dark black of your dream world. Sunny, we're at home. Hey, Lana waits for you at the door upon your arrival. You're safe. Thank goodness, I texted you about 1,000,000 times. Oh. Clive contacted me a little while ago. He said you might be in trouble. Clive? You might be in trouble, eh? Clive said that? Thank goodness he was strong. Did your phone die? Let me check. Yeah, no power, sorry. That's fine, but it is a damn good thing that you got home when you did. I was about to call out a search party. Clive text scared me half to death. That fool should know better than to send cryptic message and then drop contact. Jeez. Clive? He went out of his way to make sure Lana knew I might be in danger. Indeed. But if he dropped out of contact after all, is he still safe himself? Sigh. I swear your kids are gonna be the death of me. I've spent more time worrying the last while than I have in years. I'm sorry. Nah, kiddo, don't take it wrong. I don't mean you're a burden. What happened out there, though? That's... You feel yourself, Stephen. Not only does Lana know something happened out there, but now that you're able to relax a bit more, you can feel the sweat on your forehead and hear the raggedness of your breath. There are no excuses this time that will make Lana sure that nothing bad went on. You really don't want to talk about it, do you? Look, I know I'm not your mom, and I know I haven't been part of your life for a long time either. But you can talk to me, you know that, right, kiddo? She offers you a sympathetic smile and you force one out in return. Yeah, you can come up with something to say that will ease Lana's mind, so instead... I'm exhausted. I think I'll turn in early tonight. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. Lana's expression makes it clear she wants to push further, but she resists the urge, probably for your sake. Alright, rest up. I'll make pancakes for breakfast tomorrow, so you better wake up in time. Indeed, that's nice. Thanks, good night. Sleep well, kiddo. She ruffles your hair lightly, an affectionate gesture that turns your forced smile into a real one. Even though you know waking up tomorrow will be a challenge, you're not in agreement, promising Lana you'll wake up in time for breakfast. Yeah. My whole body feels numb and heavy at the same time. No matter what, I need to leave Pirathon, even though I still feel like there are answers to find here. You know this little town is far from safe. Even if you manage to sleep tonight, you feel certain that nightmares will be haunting you once again. Only one thing stops you from telling Lana you want to leave right this very moment. Clive. Where is he right now? You place your phone on the charger before getting into bed. When I wake up tomorrow, will I find a bunch of messages from Clive explaining what happened? I'm so tired. Indeed. While tossing and turning, you manage to find sleep somewhere along the way. You fall asleep wishing that you had taken Lance over sooner and returned to the city. Anywhere but here would feel better at this point. So, is that all? But is there anywhere safe for you? Is that the end of the day? No it's not. I fell in love, you know. They are just so beautiful. Every time I see them, my heart pounds and feel like it will burst out of my chest. When I'm not with them, I feel like I'm dying. I've never been in love before, but that must be what it is, right? I'm in love with them. They think I don't know who they are. I'm sure. They probably think I have no idea what's going on. But their smile... my heart is pounding again just at the thought of it. When they found out the truth, will that smile disappear? Who are you? I wonder what they will look like in that moment. I wonder. If I tell them we are enemies, will they cry? Or will they say that they forgive me despite it all? It is so much fun to think about, because either way, whether happy or contorted with despair, it will be a new expression for me to see. Who are you? Sunday, Clive's Road. Who is this person we have been dreaming back then? Is it Shannon? Or is it Lana? Yeah, I think there's one more betrayal coming in. I don't know who. So I guess that's all for Fragment. Oh no. Everything starts to fall down, isn't it? See you later then in the next episode. Bye bye.